Alright guys, this is a follow-up video on how to modify the .inf file on your NVIDIA drivers when you just upgraded the video card on your laptop, if it's not installing. And I had already made another video previously, but I realized that there's a lot of beginners or people that actually didn't understand where the numbers came from and all that. I wasn't very thorough with explaining, so this is more of a beginner's guide and step by step. And although I know there isn't a lot of people looking for this kind of stuff, I know that the ones who are really invested in what they're doing, and they had to modify their heat sinks and video cards, and it's fucking frustrating not to find information on how to do this. So let's get started. I'm going to try to be as thorough as possible. So you just upgraded your GTX MXM video card on your laptop, and you fired it up, and it's not installing the drivers, right? So what's happening is that the drivers that you just downloaded are not compatible, or they don't have the instructions to install on your computer because it didn't come with the video card. So what you're going to get is you'll open Device Manager. Once you open the Device Manager, you're going to go to Display Adapters. Under Display Adapters, you'll probably see something that says Microsoft Display Adapter, something like that. That does not mean that your computer didn't accept the video card. It's just that the drivers are not installed, and that's just what it's called. Microsoft calls it that. So don't freak out. I saw a couple of comments in the previous video saying it doesn't detect my video card. It's not going to say it's a GTX 1060 or 1080 until it installs the drivers, okay? We'll get to this a little bit later. So what you need to do is go over to the NVIDIA webpage, and then here go under drivers. And you're going to just look for your product type. For example, here, do not make the mistake of choosing the one that's not notebook. For the 10 series, for example, let's choose this one just because mine is 1060. And then here, 1060, Windows 10, English, then you're going to download the driver. Once you download the driver, wherever the hell you downloaded it, you're going to try to install it. So once you double click on the driver that you just downloaded, which should look something like this. Let's see. I'm going to be very thorough with this, so bear with the long explanations. Here we go. It'll look something like this. You're going to double click on it. Once you double click on it, let's just go ahead and do it. It'll ask, where do you want to extract the... Here you go. Where do you want to extract it? Okay. This is the default path. So take a good look, extract it. Once it extracts itself successfully, it'll try to install the driver. It'll check for compatibility with your computer, and it'll fail. And it doesn't matter. It's normal. So do not click on the OK button or close button once it fails. You will go where the drivers were recently extracted to, which, as we already saw, is under, let's say it's under NVIDIA display driver, and you can see it here. These are the files that were just extracted, okay? So if you click OK or close, before copying these files to another location, they will be deleted because there was a problem and Windows doesn't need them anymore, so it'll just delete them. So before that happens, what you're gonna do is you're gonna click here, and you're going to cut or copy these files. Once you cut this, just paste them in any other direction, address, or whatever you call it. Sorry about that, but English is not my first language. So here you go. I already have this, like, you should make a folder with all of these files, and you'll see later on why. So I got my things here, and you're gonna, for example, paste them here under OEM video drivers, which is exactly what I did. You paste it here, and then let's just do a new folder here. Drivers. 1060. It's gonna try to be very thorough so nobody breaks their computer's monitor. Okay, so you have all your files here. Perfect. Now you can go ahead and click on close. You're gonna get this message, cannot continue. So now you click on close. So if you see right now that I clicked on close, we're gonna come here, we're gonna look for the driver again, and see that NVIDIA's no longer here. The installer already deleted it again. So this is what we want to avoid, and that's why we cut the files before. Perfect. So now that we have our files, this is the part that I will explain to you people. Here we go. These are the files that we just downloaded. So here you're going to go under display driver, okay? And you'll see a lot of files here, a lot of like notepad documents. Now, depending on the computer that you have, on the computer brand that you have, you will need to search for a specific file. If you have a Lenovo, it'll be a file. If you have a Razer, it'll be another file. Alienware, which is mine, is the nvdmi.inf file, okay? I'm gonna paste a list of the inf files on brand dependent or whatever, I don't know how you say it, for each specific brand on the video description, or you can search them by yourself. So here you go, nvdmi.inf, and you're gonna see this window. So I'm gonna try to explain quickly in as simple as possible what this means. What we're doing here is that we're grabbing, we're opening the instructions for the installation of the video cards for the compatibility. So NVIDIA basically, these are a set of instructions that tells the drivers or the installer to only install these drivers on these machines with the specific combination of video card and machine model or laptop model, okay? So that's what all of this stuff is. So this is where everything starts to make sense. Once you open your device manager, you're gonna go here, and under whatever appears here, you're gonna right click, go to properties, go to details, and click on the drop down menu and go to hardware ID, okay? So as the name says, it's your hardware's identification number, okay? So this first number that you see here, these four letters, or numbers and letters that you see here, 1C68, this is your video card hardware ID. This is the GTX 1060 in my case, or in your case, it'll say a different number if you have a different video card. So it won't be the same numbers. And then this second number is your laptop's identification number. Okay, mine is an Alienware M17XR4. So this is what this is. So what I usually do is, for you not to get confused once you start doing this, what you can do is write down GTX 1060 ID or whatever, and then you go 1C60, 1C60, and then your laptop model or ID, whatever, is the 057B. That way, everything is easier in the future. Now, mind yourself that the GTX 1060, for example, has different variants. Some of them have more wattage, some of them are different form factors or whatever. So it won't always be 1C60. So search for your hardware ID. It might be different even though you're doing a 1060. So once you have this, this will be a lot easier to explain. No, it's not here. Once you go to the here you go, to the nvdmi or whatever your inf.inf file is, you're going to start understanding this. So all of these numbers, what they're saying is basically, here we go. For example, here, that this video card, these 4 numbers are the video card, will install in this laptop, which I have no clue what video card or laptop this is, will install in this laptop. Then this same video card, which is the same video card, see that, will install on this other laptop, which is a different laptop. If your laptop video card combination is not in the inf file, NVIDIA installation procedure will fail. So what I usually do is, because there are different instances here in which you need to change the information, what I'll usually do is I'll go all the way up, click on File, and all right, before I do that, let me show you something. You see how here it says NVIDIA devices, and then it says here AMD 64. So there are different sections. I still don't understand why, but it's like different for different operating systems or type of processors. I'm not sure. But here you can see this list, okay, which I'm highlighting. Let's see, hopefully, hey, there you go. And then down here, another list will start as well. Let's see. Holy shit, this is long. Okay, here we go. So this is another one, and this is the strings. Okay, you will need to modify this as well. So what I usually do is I go all the way up, I click on Edit, Find, and I input here my video card ID. So mine is 1C60. Copy, paste. You click on down, this is the direction it's looking for the stuff. Make sure if you're already, for example, if you're in the bottom of the page and you click on find, it won't find anything because it's looking downwards and there's nothing downwards anymore. So you need to go all the way up and click on find next. And if you see this, perfect. It already found various different machines over here that have my exact video card. Hardware ID. See that? All of these have my exact video card with different laptops. So what we need to do here is change this data that we have here with this one, and that's all. That's it. So let's do that. This was in the strings. This was in the strings file. So let's click here, find next. Okay, here we go. So here we go. What we're going to do is choose any of these. It doesn't matter which one it is. Okay. And we're going to say that the 1C60 will install now, not on the 07C0, which I don't know what the hell that is. We're going to go here to our laptop model. We know it's the 057B. We're going to copy this and we're going to paste it here. See that? And then in the end, at the end of this, you'll see another string here that says 1C60, just as well as here. But over here, it has the computer model. So we're going to replace that as well. Paste. See that? So basically, now you're telling the NVIDIA installation or the instructions file that this video card should install on this computer, bitch. Okay? So then you're going to have to change this over here. And then let's just check real quick if we have another. Just give me a second, bear with me. No, just making sure. Very thorough with you guys. Just let me see if there's a different set of like the operating system thing. Okay, so there isn't. Perfect. So now what you're going to do is you're going to search for this, which will make it easier. This is the notepad. This is the notepad file that I have already. Okay, let me go here. Here. Okay. I have under my 1060 folder in my modded in file, I already have my nvdmi lines. So I wrote, because initially I had upgraded to the 1070, but It just malfunctioned. So I had my computer model, the GTX 1060 hardware ID, the 1070 hardware ID, and then this is what we need to search for. Okay. We need to search for the NVIDIA devices. Where are we? Here we go. For the NVIDIA devices first, to find this. See, NVIDIA devices, it'll take you directly to this shit. So you click on edit, find NVIDIA devices, find, okay. Find, and it'll find this. Then when you're here, you can just look for your video card number over here, and then change the files as I already explained. And then after that, you're going to click on edit, find, and then you're going to click here. Shit, here you go. You're going to click here on search for strings. See that? With the brackets as well. Make sure you don't copy the spaces. Copy, find, paste. Strings. Not up. See what's happening? I want it to search down. Find next. Strings. Here we go. So once we get to the strings part, you basically have the same thing again. A lot of information telling the NVIDIA installation file, the installer, that this combination is the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 660 and that this should work. So what you're going to do is that you're going to check again what your hardware ID is for your video card, which is the 1C60. And you're going to look for it over here. And if you want to skip the looking for, just click on strings, click on this part, edit, find, and then you're going to copy this, paste it here, search down, find next. There you go. So over here are the different video cards and laptop combinations that are predetermined and as a default here. So what you're going to do is that you're going to copy your computer number, model number, copy, and then over here 1C60, you're going to replace any of the other ones that have this info, and you're going to paste it. So now what we did here is we're telling the NVIDIA installer again that the 1C60, aka 1060, my version, will install on the 057B, which is the Alienware. And then that's it. It's that simple. I have no clue why nobody fucking explains this online. It takes such a long time to understand. Okay, and let's see. Let's just do. Okay, here we go. Let me silence that. And if you see here, it'll give you your GTX model at the end. So now you're going to go to File and you're going to save this. Okay, nvdmi. There you go. So you save it. It already exists, so you replace it. You don't have the permission to open this file. Perfect. So if that happens, you can either open it. I don't know why this is happening right now, but you can probably open it as an administrator. Let's see that. Save. Okay. So anyways, if you open it initially as an administrator, and let's just make sure that that's true. Okay. Don't save. One thing I want to tell you guys about is that I don't know why I already have this here, but I'm not sure because every single time you update the driver to the new versions, you have to do this as well. Okay, it's not that once Windows recognizes your video driver, it'll continue working now permanently. Every single time you update, you have to change this. It's not a big deal. So I don't know if you can just have that file modified over here and then just copy this, for example. Let me try to show you that. You could just copy that, go inside a folder, okay? Let's try to do this here and open it as an administrator. Let's do this together, people. Okay, so open it here. nvdmi, which should be nvdmi. Holy shit, my scroll wheel scrolls like 10 lines at the time. Pretty sure. Oh, here you go. nvdmi. Okay, let's open as administrator. Okay, sorry, I'm really sleepy already. Open. Where the hell is open as administrator? Anyways, open. Okay, let's just try this. And we could probably, I think you can probably just click enter and paste the whole line. You don't have to replace any of the lines that are there or anything. You just do that. If you can see, I already had one over here previously done with another video card with the previous file. So it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. I'm just giving you this tip because it might be quicker just to replace this. And then you gotta find and click on strings. And then once it's here, you just open this again. And for strings, you replace this. See? So you might want to give that a try. Make sure that there's no spaces here or in between, and then try to install the file. That way it might be a lot quicker. So if you can see, let's see, save. Yeah, see, it's saved over there. So it's probably administrator or in the folder that I was trying to modify it, that it wasn't giving me permission to do that. Okay, so here, if you can see, just to make sure you all understand this, this is the code that I would need to replace if I had the 1070. The 1070 hardware ID is 1BA1, and this is my Alienware's hardware ID. If I have the 1060, I keep the same laptop's hardware ID, and then I just replace it to the 1060's version of my hardware ID. So once you have that ready and everything is fine, you're going to have your folder looking like, well, normal, like this, with your INF file, with your NVDMI or your INF file, regarding on the computer you have, depending on the computer you have, already replaced, okay? So you need to go again where you extracted your files, and then you're going to hit setup, but not yet, because if you do this, because you changed the information or because it's not officially supported, it's very probable that Windows won't sign the drivers. Okay, it won't. So what you need to do, in case it doesn't sign the drivers once you click on setup, every single time you install the drivers, by the way, try to do a clean install and then choose what you want to install there. Just like I always install everything, G4s and Shadowplay and all that stuff. But if Windows doesn't let you install it because of the Windows signature thing, and it gives you another error, then what you need to do is you click on Shift and hold Shift, okay? And then you restart. Once you click on Restart while holding Shift, you don't let go of Shift until a blue screen comes out and it asks you, what do you want to do? It's kind of like a recovery menu. And then I'm not sure what the screen says, but let's look for it right now. Windows driver. Let's see, driver signature, disable, image. What fucking language is this in? Okay, here we go. Doing this as we go. So I think it's over here. You can see in troubleshoot, and then you might be greeted with a screen that goes like this: startup settings, change Windows startup behavior. And then you're going to see this window, which tells you that you'll see these options once Windows restarts. Okay, so if you can see here, it says disable driver signature enforcement. So you click on restart. Once it restarts, it'll ask you what you want to do. And then you'll get this screen. Okay, so you want to hit number 7 on the keyboard so it disables the driver signature enforcement. Once you do that, Windows will restart again. You go to your folders, to your drivers folders, and you click on the setup. Once you click on the setup, it should install now your video card. And when you go to the device manager, you should be able to see it now here properly. And then the refresh rate of your monitors will work and everything. Another small thing that you need to consider is, I think there were people that asked if they could update because NVIDIA wasn't supporting their video card anymore. For example, people with the 680M or stuff like that, or older, and they needed a new driver to run a game. Then I think you can still go here and then force and tell that NVIDIA installation file to install the new driver on your old video card. I think you can do it. I'm not completely sure, but I think you can. And the other thing is that there were a couple of people that commented on that they had image on an external monitor, but not on their laptop screen. And that sometimes is because the new video cards, especially the 10 series, needed an EDP connection to the LCD on the laptop's monitor, the built-in one, if I'm not mistaken. And it doesn't use the old, let me see, I closed it, the old LVDS connector style. If you have the old LVDS connector style, then the computer won't be able to communicate directly with the laptop screen. And you will have to upgrade the screen if your motherboard has that. My Alienware had that. To be able to install a 1060, I needed to have the 120 hertz display because it connected directly to basically to the video card, and I didn't have Optimus with it. So if you're having that problem with the 10 series, you can always go with the 980M, which I think did use the LVDMI connector. So I think that is it. I hope I didn't miss anything now. I hope it's clear what you're doing, what you need to do, and that for the people that are frustrated with this thing, as I was for the longest damn time, now see it, simple and easy. Any questions? Well, I'll be glad to help. So peace, people, and don't burn your video cards, undervolt them. Peace.